G'day, this is Captain Noob, and this is going to be a video taking a quick look at the new XCOM game that 2K has announced recently. It's called XCOM Chimera Squad, and just to give you a little bit of backstory to it, or the way that it's set in the universe, is it's basically set 5 years after the events of XCOM 2, which is pretty interesting, and the Space Aliens will actually be working with them this time instead of, slaughtering them down en masse. There's a couple of trailers that I want to quickly have a look at. Yeah, this is like a little bit of a comic thing, a little bit of something to set the stage for the game and to introduce some of the characters. It's actually pretty neat.
Blue blood, Verge. Confirm position.
Confirmed.
On my order. Breach! Breach! Breach!
Hostiles never saw my approach, and judging by her facial expression, neither did Terminal.
Hey, you startled me. Your ugly mug has that effect on people.
Ah, that hurts, Terminal. Now you owe me an apology and a thank you.
Thank you for what?
Hey, that was a nasty float, Verge.
See, Blue Blood appreciates me.
Okay. I'll make sure you survive the next one. Deal?
Chimera Squad, we've been tipped off to an Illyrium stockpile.
We will see if the need arises.
Our source indicates Grey Phoenix operates the warehouse behind the front company. The surveillance of the building suggests minimal resistance. HQ recommends breaching with explosives on the westernmost wall.
This is way bigger than an Illyrium stockpile. Bert! Contact! Get the cover!
I will not hear the end of this, will I?
You can thank me once this is over.
Yeah, and 24th of April is when it releases. I think it's a PC game only, Steam exclusive. So there you go, a little bit of a little comic preview of that, and we get a little bit of an introduction to the aliens that we'll be meeting. One of them is a talking sectoid who wears clothes, so they don't have to roam around the battlefields naked anymore. We've also got this to look at, which will give us a general overview of the gameplay. I'll probably go through it and pick out any things that I find interesting a little bit later.
XCOM Chimera Squad is a brand new turn-based tactics game in the acclaimed XCOM series. In XCOM 2, players led the resistance against the alien rulers of Earth and their puppet government. 5 years later, Earth is liberated, and humans and aliens must forge an uneasy peace. Welcome to City 31, where former combatants live side by side, with unity hanging in the balance. This game follows Chimera Squad, an elite team of human and alien agents chosen for their abilities and dedication. Sent to help secure City 31, Chimera Squad's success will keep the city safe, but their failure will mean renewed violence. At the heart of the game are Chimera Squad's tactical operations, where the agents respond to combat in the city. Each of these battles are divided into encounters. Breach mode is a key new feature to combat. This phase begins each encounter and allows you to choose Chimera Squad's entry points and agent turn order. Burst in, get the drop on enemies, and unleash devastating special abilities. The tactical choices you make during a breach can set the tone for the entire encounter. Will you head to cover or engage with targets? Will agents operate solo or work together? Do you concentrate fire on the most threatening enemy, or do you try to take down multiple weaker targets first? Either way, don't expect to clear an entire room during the breach phase. Some encounters have multiple breach points to choose from, each with distinct advantages and disadvantages. Some breach points are only accessible by specific agent abilities or equipment. All units' turns are interleaved, which means that Chimera Squad agents and enemies alternate turns in a single timeline. Turn order is an important aspect of your tactical plan. Knowing which enemy and agent will act next will be crucial in dealing with threats. This timeline presents new opportunities. Some agents and enemies can change units' places in the timeline. Chimera Squad has an ability called Team Up. Once per mission, you can choose a member of your squad to jump right to the top of the turn order. This can allow you to get an agent to safety or to get the drop on an enemy. Agents who take a beating and lose all their hit points start bleeding out. Another agent must then stabilize their ally. Stabilized agents remain unconscious for the rest of the battle. If an agent bleeds out entirely, the mission fails and must be restarted. Keeping your agents healthy and in the field is critical, as agent abilities synergize with each other in different ways. Each agent has a unique set of skills that they can bring to the team. Some agents can destroy an enemy's cover to give the rest of the squad a better chance to hit. Other agents can forcibly move units, triggering an ally's overwatch or pulling an ally to safety. Some agents can even shield a teammate. Equipment can provide additional abilities to any agent. The unique and varied skills of Chimera Squad will provide endless opportunities for tacticians. Every mission begins and ends at HQ, your hub for all operations. New missions and their potential rewards can be viewed in the city map. Chimera Squad can embark on some missions immediately. Investigations can speed progress towards critical missions. Some missions may not have the most tantalizing rewards, but need to be prioritized for other reasons, like lowering the level of unrest. Each district in the city has its own unrest score. If any district score maxes out, the unrest of the entire city will rise. If overall city unrest reaches a critical level, Chimera Squad will fail their campaign, and the model city of unification will be consumed in chaos and violence. Promote any agents who ranked up during their last encounter in the armory. Promotions give agents new abilities to use in the field. You can also adjust their equipment here. Stock up on your equipment at supply and the scavenger's market. Supply is always open for business, but lacks some of the more exotic goods the scavenger's market is known to offer. However, the scavenger's market only opens occasionally and may not always be around when you need it. At the assembly, you can create items and upgrades for sale at the store. You'll need to research patterns before you can build them. If you want to avoid being down an agent mid-mission, you can build androids to fill in for unconscious allies. You can upgrade these androids and change their equipment, but they don't have special abilities. If an agent is critically wounded, they may develop a scar, which will lower a key stat. Assigning an agent to training will repair the scar, if you can afford to have the agent out of commission for a few days. Training can give an uninjured agent improved stats or even new abilities. Spec Ops can be used to send a single agent out to gain resources or for other strategic goals, like lowering the level of unrest in various districts of City 31. Chimera Squad must prevent anarchy at all costs. City 31 is the first step toward a unified future. A lot is riding on the shoulders of Chimera Squad. A lot is riding on you.
So there you have it. There's quite a lot to unpack here. This is an XCOM game not like anything we've seen out of 2K. Instead of, taking in random soldiers in XCOM 2 stuff that you've generated, you're going to be controlling these characters, and if they die, the mission's over, which is a hell of a lot different. And if we take a look at some of the dudes here, like, look at this dude. Is he supposed to be a mutant? They've changed a couple of things around here. like, what's that? There's obviously a codex right there, and I'm pretty sure I saw an Andromedon a little bit later, so a lot of the Advent dudes from XCOM 2 still show up, but yeah, there's been a little bit of a change here and there. I like the Mutons look in XCOM 2. Unfortunately, they haven't kept that same badass look about them, but that's interesting. You can also play as a snake person, which, you know, may excite some of the people on DeviantArt, but yeah. We've also got old mate Sectoid that we saw in the little comic trailer before, but yeah, that's interesting. And the whole Scar thing, and then you can replace your soldiers with androids if you want. There's so much to do. There's so much different about this that it's interesting to see how it all fits together once the game is actually out. And you've got all of this, I guess the geoscape now is just a layout of the city, and it's on you to, you know, keep the unrest down. So, you know, it's actually, there's a whole lot of interesting stuff going on, and especially this training thing where you can pull soldiers out. There's some covert actions here and there. Looks like there's still the same sort of resources, Illyrium, intel, and supplies there. So yeah, you upgrade your stuff probably like normal. And it did say something along the lines of you know, your missions start and end in HQ. So there'll have to be like a hub thing. So it's not like totally different to whatever games have you know, we've seen before, but you know, it's actually an interesting way of doing it. And speaking of the regular old gameplay here, this is interesting because normally in XCOM that we have so far, it's your turn, you move everyone and do your thing, and it's the enemy's turn. But now it's going to be, it's going to be strange here. And it said something about synergies too, so you know, it might be really good for just making big brain tactics here and there. But I'm interested into seeing how this all fits out. And this, yeah, this is interesting. This is, like, I don't know how that's going to work. I'm actually excited to see exactly how it does all fit together, and it gives you an ability to team up where you can just pop them to the top of the list. Maybe you really want to kill something, you've got the damage output to do it if you shoot them twice. Yeah, that's interesting. And the context of the enemies from the last game, you know, being there, but now we're working with the aliens. I think I saw a sectoid with a nose at the end, which was strange. Yeah, look at this guy. It's just a sectoid with a nose. How weird's that? Anyways, yeah, I'm actually quite excited for this game. Yeah, there's a snake. Plays a snake. Apparently, I've heard the backstory. They're actually a war criminal. That's interesting. But yeah, it might be a cool, interesting thing to do whilst we wait for XCOM 3. And they might be even testing the waters to, you know, see what works and what doesn't work in preparation for XCOM 3. Whether we work for aliens and with aliens in that game might be up for things, because, well, we know at the end of XCOM 2 there's a little bit of stuff from the Elders. There's something else out there. The Elders aren't the big bad in the universe, according to them. There's something else going on, so it'll be really interesting to see how it all fits together at the end of the day. But anyways, I think that'll do it. I don't have a whole lot else to say other than I'm actually super excited to see what can come out of this, because honestly, I'm just, you know, pumped for a new XCOM title. I know it's not going to be the same as what we've had before, but you know, it could be something new, something to try out, something that may actually be really good. But all in all, looks pretty enticing. Thank you very much for watching, guys.